Hello everybody, this is Patrick here from TCG Source, and this is going to be a little bit of a redo video. Not necessarily that I didn't like my old Nekroz deck profile, but a lot of people didn't find it good unless it had the Jin lock and things like that, and the fact that I ran 2 Senju was just irritating people. I'm not entirely sure why, but here's Java. But here's a totally redone, not totally redone, but a different deck profile. Everyone said the last one was cloggy, which is fine. You're entitled to your opinion, and I fully respect it. But here's my new deck profile, so take it with a grain of salt. And for all those who were questioning if I knew how to play the deck, yes, I do know how to play the deck. I do know the strategies of the deck. I actually played mine very well. I've won tournaments with my deck, all that good stuff. It wasn't as cloggy as all of you thought it was. It's not as cloggy as all of you think it is. But that's perfectly okay. If I sound slightly irritated, whatever. Take it any way you want, but I am perfectly okay with everything that's happened. So, we run 2 Senju. Again, I don't feel like this card needs to be a 3. It's definitely fine at 2. The deck searches enough as it is, and it's just a card you'd run at 3. This card definitely run at 3, Manju of the 10,000 hands. Searches out both monsters and rituals. Really good card. I dropped Shura down to 2, because of the simple fact that I dropped Trishula down to 1. I did add the Jin in for the Jin lock for Colossalus, and I did side one out. We have 2 Brionic. You can only play 2. Awesome card. One of the best cards in the deck, if not the best card. Again, 1 Trishula for protecting the Jin lock and stuff like that. Triple Colossalus for the Jin lock and searching out those ritual spells. Unicorn for starting off that Jin lock and also grabbing stuff from the graveyard if you need it. Or he's just a good field presence to negate the effects of extra deck monsters. Once again, we run triple Valka's Love, Valka's Life. This card is super amazing. This deck would not be nearly as good without this card. So, this card is super duper awesome. We got 1 Nekroz of Gungnir. Again, this card is super duper awesome. Protects your monsters for at least a turn, which could help the Jin lock if anyone were trying to get rid of your Colossalus with the Jin lock on it. This card definitely does help. Nekroz of Decisive Armor, again, Towers is a thing, guys. Cliff Forts are still a thing, even though they did get hit by the ban list. It's very important to run this card at least at 1, just so you have that added plus. And he's also, has the ability to be summoned, so that's a really good effect. We run 2 of each of the Nekroz ritual spells. Yes, I did dumb them down a bit, and I know some people were telling me that running 3 of them was 3 of each of them, except for the cycle, was a bad idea. So I did listen, and you guys were right. That did actually help. So thank you guys for giving me that advice. 1 Preparation of Rites when this card went down to 1. Whatever. Because this card is just super good not to play. 2 Rhoda. This card basically really only needs to. I mean, again, this deck searches enough as it is. And I believe it only has 2 targets, which is Colossalus and Shrit, so it's not a card you need to run at 3. Triple MST, this is a trap-heavy format, I believe, and, a lot of decks are going to try to stop with the Vanities and Emptiness and stuff. Even though it is at 1, there's other cards that can help limit to what you're trying to do, like Anti-Spell Fragrance and stuff like that, so this definitely helps. I run Triple Book of Eclipse, based on the simple fact that the mirror match for the Jin lock is a pain in the butt, and therefore you really have to have this card on hand in order for you to have any sort of chance to, deal with it. And then we run triple Upstart Goblin, ideally making your 30 or your 40 card deck into a 37 card deck at the cost of some life points, which isn't really a big deal because you tend to try to go for games quickly as possible with this deck anyway. So now moving on to the extra deck, we have double shooting Quasar Dragon. I like having 2. That's just my personal preference based on how I play. We have 1 Gaia Knight, the Force of Earth, just in case you need to go for that 1 Brionic. That's fine. 2 Herald of Arclight with the Unicorn. It makes it super duper good with this card. And, yeah, so that's the start of your Jin lock, basically. We got 1 101 for those pesky special summon monsters. We got a Castel for all those other cards. We got an Exton Knight to kind of clear the board if we ever need it. If my opponent's at too much of an advantage. Yeah, we don't want that. 2 Lavable Chain. This card is super duper excellent in this deck and starts off your Jin lock. So, no reason not to play this card, at least at 1, but I like to play him at 2. Dagosto Emerald to kind of recycle all of your stuff. This card is super duper good in the deck. I play 2. I'm still testing it, but I like having 2 in the deck. Cowboy, go for game without attacking, hopefully, if you ever get that ability to do that. And an Abyss Dweller for those decks that like to revolve around the graveyard and such things as that. Now, we can go over the side deck. Phantom of Chaos, I like running this card simply because sending Quasar Dragon, you can just use that, and it can also be used against towers, and I think it's pretty decent that you get to take his effect till the end phase as well. So, yeah, it's actually a really cool card to use. So, let's go ahead and move on to Dance Princess of the Nekroz. We run one of these. This is like mostly a just-in-case card. I like having this just because. A second Jin, you know, obviously you need another one in just in case. And then 2 Denko Sekka. Again, this deck isn't really too. You don't have to set these at all, but you can. And Denko Sekka kind of prevents your opponent, as long as it's not their mirror match, prevents your opponent from using those set spell or trap cards. So that's really really good thing. I run 2 Maxi. I still relatively like this card, based on the simple fact that if your opponent tries to go off, he either has to stop or just give you pluses for days. So yeah, Effect Veiler. Monster effects are kind of annoying a lot of the time, so Effect Veiler does definitely help the situation. Double Twister. This card is basically like an MST, but it only destroys face-up, spell trap, and it's pay 500 life points. Not necessarily the worst thing in the world, but I cited it because MST is definitely better. Excuse me. And then we have Triple Shared Ride. Mistake's not the best choice for this deck based on the simple fact that you're trying to search as well. And if you can't search, you're going to have a really tough time taking your opponent on. And Shared Ride is definitely a better card in my opinion because they either have to stop searching or they can just give you, again, they can just give you free pluses for days. So, yeah, that's my basically redone deck profile. Yes, I did make this on my own. Don't worry, I'm fully capable of doing this on my own. I did change it. Once again, any deck profile I post on the channel is personally based off preference. Same with any of the other guys' decks. I know some of our subscribers wanted to see a different version of this deck, which is fine. I have no problem with that. But no need for the rude comments from all the other people. That's perfectly clear. If you don't like my deck profile, you don't have to use it. So, I want to thank everybody so much for watching. Remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe for more videos here at TCG Source. Go ahead and give us a like down below if you liked the video, or if you didn't like it, just go ahead and leave a dislike. And, go ahead and give us a like on Facebook if you want to. You can go ahead and keep up with us from there instead of constantly checking our YouTube channel if you're not on YouTube all that much. And I want to thank you guys again so much for watching, and you all stay lucky. Bye-bye.
Got me. You got me. You got me. You got me.